What up, world? It's your boy Chuck Wick, ill, aka Charles Brown, back again with another Talking Facts. But first, I want to ask you, are you good? Good? If you're good, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get the notifications. All right, man, your boys Rory and Mal. They released a new clip of their new podcast that they got coming out. And it looks good, it looks entertaining. I'll be watching it. I'm going to check it out. Not to see if it fail or succeed or not. I just want to check it out because it looks interesting. Right? I know a lot of people got their own preconceived notions of why they're going to watch it. Some of them want to see if these dudes can even do it. Some of them actually want to see if they do better than Joe Budden or all this stuff like that. But I honestly just want to watch something that's going to entertain me. I'm not going to be comparing it to the Joe Budden podcast because honestly, I don't really care about the Joe Budden podcast like that to even try to compare the two. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a recreation of that, to be honest with you. I hope they do some creative things with it. I heard a couple people saying they should bring in new interviews. They should bring in like people, friends of the business and people that they have made relationships with over the years. I think that's a good idea. I also think they need a third and maybe even a fourth co-host. I think they need at least a third person to make that podcast work. I also think they're going to need to promote it without attaching it to the controversy of where they come from. Far as it shouldn't be oh, look at us now, we could do this without Joe. If they go into it like that, it's going to fail because you're only going to be tapping into people who already have their mind made up one way or the other about you. They need to find new fans who don't know them to make this thing work and who don't care about any of that past controversy. It's going to jump out to a fast start because of the controversy. But after that, the content is going to carry it, right? First episode, second episode, full of heads. Everybody's going to be trying to check it out, to hear what they say. And for what I would like to see, right? Not a word about Budden. It would be beautiful if these dudes come out, hit the ground running, and it's the elephant in the room that never gets addressed. That would be fantastic. It would be amazing to watch these two guys actually do a legit podcast. Not because they can go either way. They would get views if they just did 6 days a week of talking about Joe Budden. Even if they just did 6 days a week of addressing his podcast, everything they do, they can go at it in a negative light and they would get mad views, but that would be extremely negative and actually it would be boring because that's not content. You're feeding off of his content, right? No people would want to watch that. It's some people that love nothing but negative content. But to really succeed, in my opinion, they're going to need to do the opposite of what he's doing. They might even need to do some, like, I don't even know. I mean, they need to take it a different route. Maybe go a everyday struggle kind of route where they touch on all these things in a certain limit of time, not these 3-hour, just, long thing. Maybe have a set time for it. We do it all in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. The whole thing is, bam, we hit everything. We take a couple call-ins, like whatever, I don't know, but something that's more structured where it's not just droning on and on about whatever. I think they're going to need to have a structure that is completely different from where they come from. I don't think Mal really likes a whole lot of talking like that anyway. So I think if they did something that's compact, have a programmer who's guiding it and making it, you know what I'm saying? It can be comedic and, timely or whatever, but I don't think it should just drone on and on because then it's going to start to have holes in it and dead air and space where, especially if they don't get a third person, right? I feel like, I don't know if that girl that used to be on there would come and do it with him. Maybe she would, but I feel like the third host should probably be a female. I truly think they need that aspect, and maybe a popular one. Not saying they should get a Ebony K. Williams or something, but somebody that kind of already has a buzz. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody that's going to be there just for the buzz, though. They need somebody who's going to actually have something to say. Maybe Amanda Searles or something, like, I don't know, but But then she probably suck all the air out of it. But they need someone that already has something to talk about. And it could be hip-hop related. It can be current events related. It could be world news related. It could be anything. But they're going to need a third voice in that room, I think. And they're going to need someone, like I said, to guide the structure of the show. I don't think they want to just get out here and start winging it. You know what I'm saying? Because then you don't have no set audiences you're trying to reach. You should always have who you're trying to reach in mind when you do these things. So as far as the little skit they did, I'm sure everybody that is tuned in to what's going on has already watched the skit, the trailer they've done about how they need jobs and what can we do. It was funny. I liked it. And I found it extremely creative. And apparently Budden responded to this skit, which he had to. It would be kind of weird if he act like he didn't see it. But he claims he's happy for them. And he said they must have been unhappy here for a long time. And he also said that he believes they wrote the skit themselves, right? So if you believe that, then that means Joe has matured a lot in the course of a week and a half, 2 weeks. Because he went from, I'm going to sue them if they try to do anything, to I'm happy for them. I hope they do well. That's a big leap from the very first thing you try to do. I'm gonna sue the pants off you. That's a completely different sound from now. He's like, these guys are very creative. I know they wrote that themselves. I'm proud of them. I'm happy. So apparently Maul got one of this. I believe it was Elliot Wilson posted it. And Maul went in the comments saying, just wrote one word, sucker. That about Budden saying, I'm happy for them. Maul wrote sucker. It is what it is. In my opinion, it's kind of like a sucker move, because you're gonna be, what are you happy for? You know what I'm saying? Why are you happy for me? You basically ran me out of here and told me don't try nothing because you're gonna sue me. Right? Non-compete clause. You're holding a non-compete clause over there, over my head. You won't show me my books. Right? And you fired me in front of the world. You let a clip of you screaming on me out to the world, telling the world I'm fired. But now you're happy all of a sudden, 2 weeks later. Right? So this is the world we live in, and it's this weird, strange environment where things change on the drop of a hat. Is Joe Budden world. Maul had every right to say you're a sucker. Right? And I don't know as far as Rory respond, but they shouldn't even respond anymore. They should be over this. They should not address it anymore. They did their video. They already addressed it all. Only thing left to talk about is in court. Ain't nothing left to talk about. I don't need to tell the fans anything else. I don't need to identify any misgivings I got with this guy. I don't need to have any more debate with these people in the comments. You heard what I had to say. Go watch my podcast video that we put out about 2 weeks ago. And after that, there's nothing else I need to say about it. They should dead this issue. They should be dead and gone with this whole Joe Budden. And some people think at some point they're going to shake hands, and I don't think that's going to ever happen. I don't think they're going to ever be cool, because at some point you don't have to be, right? At some point you reach a level with certain people, we don't have to be cool. We don't have to share the same space. We don't got to be kicking it, because if you turned on me like that, at that point, you can do it again. You don't give people another chance to destroy you again if they try to destroy you the first time. So I don't think we'll ever see these guys again in the same space. I just don't. Even if they're not mad, I think that they are aware enough now that you won't catch them getting burned by Budden again. You just won't. It won't happen again. There will be no business done. There will be no handshakes. There will be no parties together. There will be no friendly phone calls. I just don't see it. Too much was said, right? Too much was insinuated, and you disparage these guys way too much for them to ever trust you again. So I don't see them making up. I don't see no big reunion. I just don't. I see that last podcast that they did together, with all three of them on, was the last time you're going to see these guys on the screen together. I just don't see, it makes no sense in any kind of way. Because anything they do together is going to have money, you're going to have money involved. They would never do anything with this guy again. Never. And I heard that also heard that Budden lost a lot of supporters after this. A lot of people who was rocking with him finally had enough and left the show altogether and stopped watching. So we're going to see where this goes. We're going to see if this is something that continues to play itself out, or is this going to mellow out and Budden supporters going to stay where they are and he's just going to continue to grow? Let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Subscribe, hit the like button, follow your boy on social media. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip. Peace.